Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review we are looking at the Play Arts Kai Batman Arkham Knight Robin figure, which is much better than Batman, but still has some serious things to consider. It's got a lot of flaws, unfortunately. So, let's take a look at him. He stands about 10.5 inches tall, which makes him about 26.5 centimeters tall. He comes with the standard Play Arts Kai display stage, so that's cool. And the artwork is based just a picture of the figure, really, so the box isn't much to look at. The figure does look pretty darn good. It has some serious accuracy issues, though. Serious. And then one articulation issue. Otherwise, it's pretty good. I like a lot of things about this figure. Let's go over accessories first, though. One is the hood. The hood can come off, and you can put on the down hood and put hair on his head, and I'll show you that as we go through it. There's the hair. I'll show you now. So the hood comes off. Just pulls off the back, and then you want to put his hair on his head. Problem is, he's supposed to be basically bald, like really, really close to bald, and this doesn't look anything like bald, and it's a weird shape. It makes his head look super elongated, sticking out the back. It just looks weird. Also, the face is really inaccurate, and the sculpt is not very symmetrical at all. The nose is pointing one way, the eyes are pointing, like the shape of the head, the eyes are pointing this way, the nose is that way, the mouth is way that way. Very weird design. Looks like he's chewing on something on this side of his mouth. And the eyes are solid white, which you can see his mask doesn't cover his eyes, so that looks freaking dumb. And it's not accurate. His eyes are supposed to look like eyes. So really, really bad. His hair doesn't look anywhere near accurate. It's supposed to be a buzz cut, and frankly, it looks like, it just looks like a dirty cotton ball or poop. It looks kind of like poop or mud. Looks really, really, really bad. The down hood, though, is a cool feature because you can just peg that in back here, and then it looks like his hood's down. So that's nice, but if you'll notice, that's not anywhere near symmetrical either. It's way bigger on this side than the other side. What happened there? That looks weird. Much bigger on the left and the right. So that's really a bummer. Everything about the head is pretty much off. Hands, he has 2 fist hands. Then he has 2 gripping hands. So that's good. And then he has 2 style hands for poses. So that's good. Now here's something that's really weird as far as accessories go. I don't remember him in this game using this at all, let alone 2 of them. He comes with 2 of them. They're actually molded into the blister, so it was intentional. Maybe it was a mistake in the factory, but I don't know why he's got 2 of them. I don't remember, and I'm almost completely 100% done with the game, him using this at all. I guess it might be from Arkham City? I don't know. But he's got 2 of these, which are kind of cool. They're like shields with his staff, so that's okay. Then he also comes with 2 staffs, which is another thing that I don't think ever happened in the game. But maybe it's a thing. If anybody can clarify that, please do. I am baffled. I don't know why he has 2 of each accessory. Very strange. So let's look at the figure. As far as accuracy goes, everything looks pretty good except for the red. I know why they went with like this pink color, because a lot of the time when the light hits the armor it has that kind of effect. So I can get that. I can live with that. But the fact that this red doesn't even come close to matching this red, it really throws off the look of the figure. And the way they decided to do the little piping that connects it to make it look right, it doesn't look right at all. It looks like they just kind of cut it in half and glued 2 figures together. And maybe that's just because the paint doesn't match up, but it looks odd. Not nearly as bad as Batman, and once you pose this guy, you can kind of ignore that kind of stuff, so it's okay. But that looks really odd. Otherwise, he's pretty good. Everything else is pretty much the way I'd like it. I like the greens. It's nice and muted, but still kind of deep green, so that looks good. And the tones in the grays and the sculpt work throughout is really good. The texturing in the armor, I'm pretty happy with all of that. It's just that the head is so inaccurate, and the paint scheme is also not good at all. And then his neck, his collar on his neck is not painted. I don't know if that's a universal issue or not, but oh, that looks so bad. That is the kind of thing I might even just fix myself, but it looks so bad, especially if that's a universal thing. What the heck? Did they just rush these figures so much that they couldn't put any effort into them? I don't get it. These are not on par with SH Figure Arts quality. Also, the gray here doesn't match the gray anywhere else. It's almost purple. Maybe that's what it's supposed to be. I'm not sure. I'll post photos at the end so you can compare. But it just looks off, really off. As far as the articulation goes, the head's on a double ball peg, so you get good range of motion for the most part. Without the hood, if you put the hood on, it's almost none. The neck, I can't tell for sure. It feels like it maybe is on, yeah it is, it's on that hinge joint, like Iron Man. So it has a hinge, which is basically just a hinge with a swivel, because you can't do anything else but rotate it around. So I don't like that. I prefer the double ball peg much more to the hinge. I don't know why they switched that. That wasn't one of the things that was ever a problem, but they did. Shoulders are okay. We have the ball hinge that connects to the torso. No hinge in here, so no double hinge, but they tuck in really well. So that looks good. Pretty much however you pose him, the arm is going to work pretty well. I think that's a pretty good design. It does have some problems. As you can see, it wants to pull out when you bring the arm around. I'm not sure why that is, but it's not going to actually come out. The chest is hollow again, which I personally don't care for, but you can bring the arm around a little bit more, so that could be a good thing if you like that. Bicep swivel up here. It's actually a double, but it's technically a single. And how it works is this peg goes down into the bicep, so the shoulder can swivel and the bicep can independently. Standard elbow hinge, nothing really special there. Standard wrist hinge. For the torso, it's the same as the Iron Man one in Batman. It's a ball peg that goes down here, and then a hinge. You probably can't see it at the top. So ball peg plus hinge. You would think it's good. I don't think it works any better than a double ball peg. So I just don't get why they did that. And then also, as soon as you bring them back, his whole upper torso is separate from his lower torso. It just looks not good. This should be sculpted. Excuse me. This should be sculpted to go up higher, and it just isn't. And then when you bring him forward, it comes out on the back. Big gap there. It's just, I don't get why they're changing things that don't need to be changed. And I don't know, they fixed the knees and we were pretty much set with articulation, and now they're changing more stuff and it's not better. And then every time you pose him, he gets tucked in on himself because of that gap in there. Every time you do that, you have to go back in and fix it so that the soft rubber doesn't tuck in, and it's a problem. I don't like that. As far as the cape goes, this is connected really low again like Batman, so we're going to have limited posability, but we do have our hinges in the cape. Although the hinging in this one, there's no overlap really, so the only reason that there's two pieces is so that you can move it around better and make it look like it's blowing in the wind. But you don't expect to like have the cape wide. That's all you're really going to get. So I don't know, I guess that's okay. It's not particularly good though. They don't really line up well. It just looks like two capes. So poor execution, really disappointing again. Torso, standard ball peg in the lower torso, floating crotch piece, standard hips. You can get pretty good range of motion out of them, and they don't look too bad, so I like that. Again, just like Batman, his lower half is much better than the top half. I don't know what's going on at Square Enix, but these figures turned out problematic. The knees are really well done. They look really good with that knee pad on there. Good range of motion. The ankles have the standard hinge, but they have really good range. And he's got a really good toe hinge also. So that's two really good things. Plus the rest of the legs are really good. It's just that upper body is not. Now once you pose him, you can hide most of the flaws. And he's going to end up looking really good. Much better than Batman. But he still has so many odd things about him and so many inaccuracies that I don't know if I can recommend him. That you're going to have to decide if you can live with the inaccuracies and the flaws, because it's just kind of like, why did they bother making these figures so early to rush them to get them out and then make them not very good? It's kind of upsetting in that I was hoping for them to be awesome. I really wanted them to be, and they normally are, so it's just strange. I don't know. I will post photos again at the end so you can see him in action, so you can also compare it to the in-game model and see what I'm talking about. If you do decide you want to get this, Big Bad Toy Store should be getting them in stock very soon, so check the link in the description below. And make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can see my upcoming figure reviews, custom figures, and other good stuff. And in the meantime, keep collecting.